Hey guys, and welcome back to the Full-Time Travel Planning series, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to travel with another person. So what do I mean traveling with someone? We all know how to travel with other people. Well, if you're going to be traveling with someone for a long period of time, chances are, sooner or later, whether it's a significant other, a friend, a family member, a coworker, whoever it might be, we're all humans and we all have tendencies to do things that might bother someone else eventually. But I'm here to talk to you about what are some of the things you can do to mitigate those times that you will run into those annoyances with the other person. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some good tools, tips, and tricks and different experiences that might help you when you're traveling with someone else on how to try and maintain a really healthy travel relationship with that person. So I'm gonna be very blunt and straightforward. I spent some time traveling with my previous girlfriend, and there's some things in here that I learned from the experiences, from days when we spent too much time together, when we didn't follow some of these tips and recommendations that I'm going to share with you, and how it caused some of our days to be a little bit more stressful. So let's be honest, people need their space, people need their alone time. We all do, whether we believe it or not. But at the same time, it's not as easy as, hey, how about, you stay at this hostel tonight and I'm gonna stay at the other hostel. It doesn't really work like that. The key is you need to figure out some ways to have your own hobbies, to do your own things some days. And so I've heard a few different recommendations from other travelers. A buddy of mine, his recommendation is once every 4 days, him and his travel buddy, they would go ahead and do their own thing for the whole day. And they would do that once every 4 days to make sure that they could just both go do their own things, not spend so much time where you find little things to be annoyed by this person. And he said that was really, really beneficial. And he made sure every single week they did that. Now, when you're traveling with just a friend, it's probably a little bit easier to do that. It might not be as easy when you're traveling with a boyfriend, a girlfriend, some sort of significant other, whatever it might be. So it's not always easy to just be able to say, hey, let's go do our own things. But the reality is, long term, if you're gonna be traveling, it's important to do that. Whether it's going on a run by yourself, whether it's taking a walk down the beach, whether it's just finding something you can do when you can have a few hours to yourself. Go listen to some music near the water. I can't give you an exact example. I don't know what personally makes you happy every single day or some of these little things in life that are good for you. But what I would recommend is in that Evernote or that notepad, have a list of what are some of the small little things that you enjoy on a daily basis. Just to repeat a couple of these, your things might be listening to music, it might be taking photos, it might be just spending time reading news articles, it might be so many different things, right? It's your hobby. What are some of those things you can build into your own little mini schedule? So if you're traveling with someone, you can spend the first few hours of the day, go sit by the water, work on those types of skill sets. Whatever it might be, I'm just trying to get your mind starting to think about what are some things that can keep you occupied so that way you do get to have some space. That, in my personal opinion, is the number one best thing that you can do if you're traveling with someone else. Space, space, space. And I will tell you, when you have space and you're back with that person, you're gonna enjoy it that much more. So a few more tips for you guys here. Whether you're the planner or you're the one that likes to have your stuff planned for you, it's important that you both think of things together. So whether you're traveling to Asia and you're going to be going all around a bunch of different Asian countries, or you're just going to be in Thailand going from city to city, it's important for you and your travel partner, whether it's your buddy, friend, or family member, once again, to be able to know, hey, what are my preferred types of experiences? Do I like hanging by the beach, doing mountain climbing, whatever that might be? So even if you are personally not the planner, you at least know that, hey, these are some of the things that my buddy likes to plan with or my significant other likes to plan to do. That way, if you're the planner, you can say, all right, well, my travel partner likes to do X, Y, and Z. So when you are planning things out, you can make sure to be fair and plan those things into the schedule. Or they like to go to X destination. Whatever it might be, I would encourage you, even if you are or not the planner, to take these things into account. Not only will you appreciate doing some things that are maybe outside your comfort zone, or maybe you won't, but your partner, your travel partner, will really appreciate that you're taking the time to do the things that they want to do also. So the next thing here is you need to make sure that you and your travel partner are the same type of travelers. So if you remember from the videos at the beginning of the series, I shared with you a few differences of types of travel. One of them was budget versus luxury, and the other one was how quickly you're moving from place to place. These are important things to be aligned with your travel partner, because if you want to be a budget traveler and they want to be a luxury traveler, you're going to run into issues. If you want to spend 2 weeks somewhere and they want to spend 3 days somewhere, you're going to run into issues. Now, let's be honest, you're never gonna have a perfect match. Some people like to splurge on other things and then save on these things, and vice versa. Some people like to spend just a couple days in one location and then spend a month in another location. So obviously there's no perfect formula, but to have that conversation in advance on, hey, how do you like to spend? Where do you like to stay at hostels or 5-star hotels? What is your vision of traveling? How do you see it? And make a list maybe in advance of this conversation. I know there's a lot of lists, but I'm telling you these things not because it's just something out of some stupid book that I read. I'm telling you this because I did all of this and it was so helpful when I put this stuff on paper and I was able to look at, this is my whole travel plan and here's each segment of it, both on the financial side, to the qualitative side, to the relationship side, everything you need to think about. And if you have it in front of you, you can go back and refer to it and you won't forget about it. So I know sometimes these writing exercises from people can just sound so boring and annoying. I just wanted to mention that because I sometimes say that too, but I wouldn't recommend that if I truly thought that it wouldn't help you. But regardless where you end up, you might not agree still after the conversation, and that's completely okay. But the key is to make compromises. And so let's say your significant other likes to stay in budget places, or your buddy likes to stay in budget places. We'll say that you're gonna stay in somewhere in between budget and somewhere between somewhat luxury or a nicer hostel. Whatever it might be, agree to something that makes sense. And if that still doesn't work, maybe they're not the right person to travel with. And I have to be honest with you, you need to think about that. You can always find other friends to travel with or other people to travel with. And so you don't want to find yourself blowing your budget just to try and keep up with this person you're traveling with. One thing I'll tell you is I wouldn't recommend to always be planning your itinerary too far in advance. Because sooner or later, especially if you're traveling for a long period of time, you are going to get tired. No matter what the speed of your travel is, you're going to get tired sooner or later. If not, you're a superhuman. But I've definitely gotten tired no matter what type of travel I was doing. Whether I was doing luxury travel before I stopped working versus when I was doing non-stop every 3 days, 4 days, moving to a different location. Whether I was even staying in a place for a week at a time. There are just some days where I'm just tired and I don't want to do anything. That is perfectly okay, and you should plan those in or let them happen when they happen. Sometimes if you over-plan your itinerary, you won't be able to let those days happen because you have money on the line. You have that bus ticket or that plane ticket or that hotel holding you back and forcing you to go to the next spot. Now, if you don't plan too far in advance, you or your significant other or partner or friend, whoever it might be, you can take the day and just chill. Watch a Netflix movie. Sit there. Take a nap by the beach. Whatever your thing is to relax, you can do that and you should do that. Don't be afraid to take those days and don't overplan your itinerary. Now, I might have thought, hey, wow, I'm saving $100 because I'm booking 6 weeks in advance. Well, 5 weeks from now, I find out something's going on in that country and now I have to cancel my flight and hotel and now I'm losing $600. How big was that savings? Not that great, right? You just lost another $500 because you saved $100 early on. So it does not always pay off to book far in advance, but it depends on what it is. That's so variable. Don't hold me to that. If you're booking very, very exclusive events, like I don't want to even name any specifically, but if you're booking things that fill up and they will be sold out, that's another story. But if you're just booking to book an itinerary, be careful with it. Learn from my mistakes and my lost money. So that went a little bit out here and came back, but the point is whether it's you or your travel partner, just be okay with taking some time to chill. So as you can probably imagine, a lot of these points build off each other. It's giving each other space, it's having proper communication, and it's really taking both each other's interests into your own interest. And what I mean by that is everything you do, you try and think of it as we, not I. And that will be the most beneficial part. And leading into that next part, if you have different types of morning routines, you need to make sure you think about, hey, what does this person like to do in the morning? Because they're enjoying their time in their own way, and they should be fully able to do that. And you should be able to fully do what you want to do without interrupting each other or disrupting each other. Now, if you find yourself looking for someone you want to travel with, where you wake up at 3 in the morning and you want to go on a hike with them every single day, then you should probably find a travel partner who wants to do that. Because if you're that type of person that wants to get up at 3 a.m. and your travel partner wants to get up at 11 a.m., sooner or later you're going to get annoyed because that's hard to find a common ground there, right? Like your mind, your body clock's going to be set to two different things. But if you can find someone with a little bit closer of a range, you can find compromises. And once again, in that time where they're doing their morning routine, whether it's sleeping in or doing whatever, you can go and do what you want to do in that time. So you're giving each other space, plus you both get to enjoy the morning routine you would like. And so guys, that pretty much concludes all of the points I wanted to share with you. They're pretty big points that you need to think a lot about and spend some time to make sure that you're traveling with the right person, you've talked to them about these types of things, and you're on the same page. Finding that connection with the right person is going to be key when you're on the road, and having that space and making sure you respect that space is going to be very, very important to have a healthy time with that person. You want to travel with this person for a reason, and there's no reason you should ever burn any bridges or piss each other off to where someone goes and doesn't want to spend time with you anymore. Whatever that might be, it's important to take these healthy measures in advance, and you'll be happy you did. And so guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. In the next video, we're going to be sharing with you what are some of the apps you need while traveling. So guys, if you don't want to miss that video or any upcoming videos, hit that subscribe button below. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.